What's up, guys? The winter weather is here. It's New Year's Eve. We just went and picked this thing up. I just got it home. It's amazing. You saw in the last video we did the flares on the silver Jeep, and I thought we'd just take it for a little ride around the yard, see if we couldn't get it stuck. You know, amazingly, snow looks so small on camera. I'm driving through big piles, you know, stock tires, a little lift, not even spinning the tires. We're just driving around, having fun. The boys wanted me to see if I could drive through the yard because they've got their Jeep XJ RCs and they're driving through the snow. I told them a real one could do the same thing. But we picked this up. We just sold that orange one we bought. We picked it up for $1,170. Got it home, basically posted it, sold it immediately. So then I saw this one. The guy was asking $2 grand. Like, man, it's clean. You know, I could sell it and make more than $2 grand. But I ended up talking to him. I talked to him over the period of like 2 days, 3 days. I asked him if he'd take, you know, $1,100 again. And he said no. So I messaged him this morning and said, hey, would you take $1,300? And he said, yeah, I'll do that. And all right, we went and looked at it. He said it needed new tires, which he works at a dealership, so he's a mechanic. So I guess this means he needs new tires, but there's over 1/4 inch of tread on these things. So I don't know what the heck he was talking about. But yeah, them are amazing tires to me. He said it was a little rusty. To me, this thing is amazing. Look, you can see me in the side of it. How often do you get that on an XJ? You know what I mean? Rear wiper doesn't work. That's about the only thing. Shocks are beautiful on it, brand new. And look at the jams on this thing. He's owned it since 2016, at least that was the date on the title. The carpets are beautiful. I'm excited about this one, guys. Honestly, I almost thought about selling that one and keeping this one for steel. This is about the extent of the damage on it. It's a scratch in the back. You can see that here in about a year or two, you're going to have significant rust underneath the windows. But as far as a Jeep XJ goes, you know, it's an 01. Gosh, it's just amazing. The 01s are my favorite. I love the front ends on them. They all have subtle differences. But this one, man, just look at the stance on it. Looks good. It's got 198,000 miles on it. So we sold the last one for $2,300. I originally posted it for $3 grand. And I told you my strategy in another video. If you want to see a bunch of strategies, you just have to watch all my videos. I'm always doing something or another, fixing this, fixing that, flipping this. I told you guys, when you're posted on Facebook Market, originally put your ad up with a higher price than you want. Throw it up there and wait an hour. Once that, you know, hour, 2 hours, whatever, go to the Facebook app, search your vehicle, click on your ad and hit lower price. It's going to give it the Facebook algorithm's price. And it always is divisible by 9. If you add all those numbers together, they'll always equal 9. And if you watch one of my other junkyard videos, you will see that Britt and I always have this fascination where we always choose things and we do things. We always add everything up. And if it's divisible by a 3, 6, or 9, it's always lucky. I know you'll probably think I'm crazy, but it works. Facebook falls into that. Anytime you post a vehicle and you hit the automatic lower price button, that number will always be divisible by 9. So it's a 3, 6, or 9. But back to my story, I'm rambling. So you post your ad, 2 hours later you go to it, you search it, you go to it, and you hit lower price. And then boom, once you do that and it marks your price, it puts a slash. Not only does it show the price when searching a vehicle, some vehicles don't show the price, it puts the price right in the front and it automatically, 7 out of 10 times, will throw you in today's top picks. It just does. I don't know why it does. There's an algorithm in the Facebook Market app that once you hit lower price and it has their price on it, they promote it more. I'm telling you, it works every time. People have asked me, why'd you lower the price today? Well, I need to sell it quick, whatever. But it works. I got this home. We just bought it today. I already posted it for sale for $3,300. It's been for sale for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I just went in and I went to the Facebook app, hit lower price. It's at $29.70. Add that up. But check this thing out. It's got a little tear in the seat, but the interior's clean. One thing this thing does have going for it as a downfall is this smells like a big fat hooter in here. I think they were using this car as their clam bake car at their house. I smelled it when I was going to buy it. They definitely smoked a lot in here. Smoking the Doja. But, I mean, listen to it. It's got an engine light. We should scan it, see what that is. But it sounds so good. So Britt went to the store, bought some baking soda and a bunch of stuff. She's gonna try to work her magic because
make it smell good.
Oh man, it smells like a hoot bomb for sure. Whatever you do for fun, I don't care. But it's harder to sell a car that smells like weed, so
everyone will buy it.
Yep. We're gonna make this thing discrimination free. So, but we had a great Christmas. It's New Year's Eve. You know, everything's going awesome. Did you see me driving the Jeep through all that stuff?
I didn't.
That literally is over the bumper. You can't even tell.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But I did want to see. You never know what's gonna be underneath these seats, you know what I mean? Damn, he cleaned it. You never know. You find a bag of money or something, you know? Gosh, this thing is just clean, original, beautiful. So, we sell this. We just sold 2 Jeeps. I don't know, what would it be? 3 Jeeps in 3 days?
Yeah, it would be. Because
That'd
they
be
sold the
frickin'
one,
legit.
the other red one.
Yeah.
Sold that one yesterday and picked this one up today. And
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing cleaned out because it is posted. We don't want somebody coming,
Not yet.
not buying it just because it smells. So, let's do. Oh, I got 2 key fobs. Let's see if this thing will go through deep snow. We know the lifted Jeep will, but will this? I mean, that snow pile there is over the bumper. See if I can get stuck. Oh, right over it. Man, this thing drives wonderfully. The wipe doesn't even work good. Oh, now we're in the deep stuff. The actual driving in the snowbank that the snowplow made. You can't stop this thing. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I love these Jeeps. I'm gonna build a pole barn someday and just have like 20 of these things clean. Because when they're 60, 70 years old, they're gonna be the new 69 Camaro or the 69 Bronco. I'm telling you. Buy these things up, restore them and save them. I was just telling them, in about 60 years, 70 years, this is gonna be the 69 Bronco, the 69 Camaro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. This, the 99 Tahoes, I try to always think of like what vehicles are gonna be
like the classic
classics in the future.
Yeah.
What body styles. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that people are gonna want to take to the dunes.
You're gonna see this
when
in
it's
like
all
the
electric
car
cars
shows in the future,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Yep, it's gonna be all electric cars at the dunes, lifted electric Tesla trucks, and you're gonna have a few guys that are badasses, and they're driving these. So, I'm gonna keep a couple of them, that's for sure. All right, let's get cleaning on this thing. I wish we could do a smell-o-vision, because you can literally sit in this bad boy and get a contact buzz. Gosh, look at this thing.
Did you tell him that like the guy said that it needed tires?
Yeah,
And we got there and we're like
damn, dude.
Good.
Those are like new tires
They look
for
good
me.
to me.
But it does have a crack in the windshield, so
Not bad though.
you gotta count that. I don't know where, right there.
Yeah, a low one.
Whatever. So I don't know. We're stoked. Just because it slowed down so much for Christmas, that now that it's actually moving again, I'm like, finally,
yeah, we're like super excited.
stuff to do.
This Jeep and then the Jeep that we sold yesterday were super scores for us. So that's
for sure.
Awesome.
Super scores. Bring them home. Don't even have to do nothing. We're gonna clean this one, obviously, but
Yeah.
the last one we didn't even touch it.
And no.
The Grand Cherokee, we didn't really touch either. I figured if it doesn't sell and Christmas rolls out and it doesn't sell still, we'll go to the junkyard and get a gas tank skid, you know?
Yeah.
But it's sold. I didn't have to do it. So, we sell this one though. I do have an idea. There is a sweet Chevy Silverado that needs a tranny. We're going to go buy that.
Yes.
So, but we just wanted to quick recoup a bunch of cash from Christmas. It's just working out somehow. But,
All right, let's go.
she's cleaning away in there. I actually have somebody on their way to buy this sub for 300 bucks. If you watch my videos, you'll see we bought a car for 700 bucks that had this in it and an amp. So I pulled this and I sold the car again. Got all this for free. It's FIBTL 18. It doesn't really get used as much as it should right now. We're gonna sell it. He wants to buy it for 300 bucks. We're gonna take the money from that, put it towards wheels and tires. It just makes sense. We can probably find wheels and tires on Facebook Market for 300 bucks off an old Jeep. You know, some 33 by 12.5 wide or 14 wide. The minimum is 12.5 because of the fender flares. But so we got it for free. We're gonna turn this into wheels and tires. It is what it is. We still have the amp in here. Not getting rid of that. So from here until spring, we'll find more subs. You know what I mean? Those are a dime a dozen. All right, we found the source of the smell in the Jeep. Pretty good one. We sold it. We still have his amp, so we can plug and play any speakers we want. It's still wired. All it needs is speakers. So we sold the amp that we had in the house that came with the speaker and the speaker. If you remember my other videos, I bought that amp off eBay for 90 bucks and got it for like 200 bucks cheaper than it goes. He isn't really out anything. 300 bucks. That's a pretty good deal for free speakers. But up here, Britt's cleaning, and we get to the ashtray, and it had roaches in it.
Not like cockroaches.
Not cockroaches, roaches. So what happens if you buy a new vehicle, you're driving it home, you get pulled over because you don't have a license plate, they smell marijuana, and then all of a sudden they start searching it and find frickin' weed in the ashtray. What's your excuse? It's not mine. Everybody says it's not mine.
Yeah, you're pretty much SOL.
Yeah, that would suck.
But then again, because it's legal, you're allowed to have so many ounces of marijuana.
It's legal
on
to
you.
an extent. You can't have it in your car driving around.
Yep. Well,
It has to be in a box or something. But yeah, so if you're selling a car, get your blunt roaches out of the ashtray.
so you don't screw someone else.
So you don't screw someone else. But I'm still not complaining. I'm happy with it. So at least we found the reason for the smell. We can vacuum that out, put some air freshener in there, and then we know that, you know, it's not going to reek when someone comes and buys it. You don't want some Sunday church warrior coming to buy this with a pocket full of cash, get in here and smell that and run. You know what I mean? All right, next day, we got this one all cleaned up last night. Put a light in there, did a bunch of other stuff, but this thing is ready. It smells good inside. We kept the windows up all night long and let it sit, and it smells pretty good in there. So I think we got rid of the smell. But for right now, one of my neighbors has I believe it's an 03 Avalanche. He's got ABS issues, so we're gonna go get that and see if I can't figure out why. Here she is. That's one clean Avalanche. It's been taken care of. He said his family bought it new. It's got 159K on it. I just drove it over here. You can kind of hear a grinding in the back, so I'm thinking he may need pads in the back, and then ABS activation at low speeds. So we're gonna get into the wheel sensors and see if we've got any rust jacking, because it's real common on these things. It makes your wheel sensor drop out. Sorry, the wind got a little rough right there. So when that wheel sensor drops out, basically what happens is it closes the valve to whichever sensor's faulty and applies brakes to the other wheel. So, as I've said before, South Main Auto Repair on YouTube, the guy's a genius. I'm looking for, you know, diagnosis on this stuff, and he pops up and he's, of course, got the best video on it. Basically what he calls a quick and dirty test. We'll drive it at low speeds. We'll see if we can't get this thing to tell us which wheel is off. All right, now, this is what he calls a quick and dirty test without a scanner, anything like that. So you roll at low speeds and you apply the brake. You see that wheel turn to the left? That means that brake's applying. That means that wheel bearing sensor is being closed off, and ABS is kicking in over there. So basically what it is the rust jacks it up so high that it doesn't read the speed sensor, and it thinks that that wheel, when it drops out, it thinks that wheel's locked up, so it takes power off of that one. So let's try it again at the stop sign here. We'll just apply the brakes. You see that wheel turn that way? That means that brake's engaging, so we want to dig into this wheel. Again, if I'm telling you, oh boy down there at South Main Auto, every time I'm trying to fix something, it seems like he encounters the same things. He's up in the rust belt, we're in the rust belt, and I've shouted his channel out before. The man deserves it. He's really good with vehicles. So like I said, always go to YouTube. Watching his video just showed me what I need to do to fix this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that sensor off first and clean it and put it back on. And if that doesn't fix it, then we're just gonna have to go ahead and get him a new wheel bearing with a sensor on it. So let's confirm one more time, see what this wheel does. It only happens at low speeds. Yep, all right. So we know it's always the opposite wheel of the way it turns. Because if you could imagine, your brake's engaging, your left brake engages, it pulls the vehicle that way. So if that one's still engaging, that one's being closed off, that wheel sensor's dropping out. Let's get back and peel into it. As far as working on this truck, it's clean, it's been taken care of. Should be pretty easy. I think I might at least pull it up here into the garage. With the wheel off, first inspection, the caliper bracket's new. Wheel bearing's been replaced at some point. Still shiny. So I guess we need to really just get in here with the light, look at this and see if we see any big corrosion. Definitely a new wheel bearing, or newer. There's our sensor right there. Now I don't really see it jacked up any, but that's the problem. So we're gonna have to take that off and we'll clean it up. Surprisingly, that Allen head came out pretty easy. Right now we're trying to get this wire out so we can pull this sensor out, get our hands on it, clean it. I want to get a good bit of sandpaper in there. We're going to try to make this thing look brand new, see what it does. First inspection, doesn't look bad. Still got grease on it. The sensor looks clean. There's a little bit of metal stuck to it. The hole down in here, there is a little bit of rust underneath there, so we're going to get this little spacer off here and clean it up. Sanded the surface clean. Sanded this bad boy clean. That's the little spacer that goes in between it. Now we are going to completely wipe this thing down, make it look new, put it back together, drive it, and hope we fixed it. If not, then it's You know, thing needs a sensor. Looking at this thing a little closer, it definitely had rust jacking. And I haven't read anywhere that these things have 3 spacers on them. I mean, if these things are as sensitive as they are, and a little bit of rust corrosion jacks it up off that wheel enough to make it fall out, what do you think 3 spacers would do? Everything I've read and everything I've seen has talked about 1 spacer. I've never seen or heard with 3 spacers. So maybe we'll ditch one of those spacers, clean it up, and see. But between all 3 of them, there was, you know, it's, if I can get this thing to focus, it's pretty thick in between both. So you get rust between the bottom, in between that one and that one, in between that one and that one. You know, it's gonna jack it up quite a bit. So, and then we got this cleaned up. I'm gonna clean these things up, and maybe I'll just put 2 back in there. We'll see what it does. It's a magnet, it's gotta read it. I guess I don't know what triggers this sensor. Obviously it's spinning. I don't know. The magnet reads something. Maybe it's just always out. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out. They're all cleaned up. We've got 1 copper or brass one. That one goes in between the actual car and the sensor. But this might be a dumb question. But if you want to avoid corrosion jacking this up off the hub, wouldn't it make sense to have 1 layer in between for corrosion to build up, not 3? So you get corrosion in between this one and the bottom, between this one and this one, and then between this one and this one. Just seems like you'd have a lot more corrosion, a lot thicker, because you're in between 4 surfaces that way versus 1. To me, it makes sense that 1 spacer would be a better bet, but you know, I'm no engineer. So we've got this cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and slap it back together. If there were 3 spacers, I should probably put 3 spacers back on it. Either way, it's gonna be better because they're all cleaned up. I hit them with a wire brush. Clean this up. We're gonna put some grease on it all and try to put it back in and see what it does. All right, we got it back together. Let's see if we can get it to, see if we can get the ABS to activate when we stop. Hopefully we fixed it, but you never know. So we'll do a couple slow stops real quick just to see what we got. No activation, I think we got it. Here, film the steering wheel when I stop. We'll check one more time, see if we can't get it to activate. Just take your hands off the wheel. I think we got it. Nice. I was hoping that that would fix it because, you know, faulty sensor, they generally come on new wheel bearings, and this has a new wheel bearing on it. So buying another wheel bearing would just suck to have to do. We'll check a couple more times and then we'll take this back to the house, and he wants me to check out his front bumper. He says it's kind of crooked. He wants me to see what I can do with it. So yeah, I think we got it. I got everything nice and greased up. It should withstand rust for quite some time now. All right, now we fixed the ABS, so we're gonna get into this bumper. But before we do, I wanna show you something that's pretty awesome. I got my first mail from a person that watches our channel, first person to send me something, and it's pretty awesome. What it is it's a Grand Cherokee cooling fan clutch. Now, when you throw one of these on an XJ, it gives you 20% more cooling at idle. So imagine what it does, you know, out wheeling. And when you're wheeling these things in the summer and it gets hot, they get hot. You can watch your temp gauge go up. XJ, these 4.0 motors respond to being used into the heat. So this is a necessity. He found this in the junkyard. They're very cheap. That's why I love XJs. You can go to the junkyard, you can buy all kinds of upgrades for these things that you don't have to buy through a store and pay buku bucks for. But he was thoughtful enough to send this to me so we can do it on Steele's Jeep, and I really appreciate it, man. He also has a channel. His channel's name is Just Empty Every Pocket. I wonder if that stands for something. He's got 2 XJs. They're both built. They're both badass. Make sure you go over to his channel, like it, like his videos, and let's all comment on his last video. We want to see that black Jeep flexed out. He's been building them for a long time. They're capable of almost anything. So let's encourage him to get out. We want to see that thing flexed out. We want to see that thing used. And I told you, I'm going to shout your channel out, so make sure you get out and flex that Jeep. He lives in a part of the country where it's still pretty much warm there. You know, we're over here making snow videos, and he's still wearing t-shirts. So I'm jealous, but I really want to say thank you. I appreciate this gift. We are going to use it. We will make a video on it. And I do watch your channel, and I appreciate your channel. He gives a lot of advice. He knows a lot about XJs, stuff that most people don't know. He's actually commented in my comments and taught me a lot. He does a lot for this channel. He's a great supporter. Him and his wife, I consider friends. So go check out their channel, Just Empty Every Pocket. If you like XJ content, you'll like his channel. A lot of know-how, a lot of learning to do over there. So thanks again, man. I appreciate it. We got it back to the house. This is what he's talking about right here. You see this gap? He's not liking it. So, to me, it looks like that side's higher, so that's weird that it has that gap. This side looks pretty good. Try to decide what I need to do here. Figure out how this thing's bolted on. All I really need to do is get a piece of wood underneath there and jack that up. Put the weight of the truck on it. And that'll come right up. So let me look at this, try to figure out if there's any bolts I can loosen and adjust that. Otherwise, we'll just jack it up and bend it where we want it. You ever go to a body shop or talk to a body man, and they'll tell you these wood blocks, 2x4s and stuff like that are one of the most used tools in a body shop. You can use them for everything. So what I think I'm gonna do is take this first. I'm gonna go up from the inside underneath, try to catch this lip right here and push this up. At least get it up. And then what we have is, if you look at it, see that bumper sticking in? See how far the wheel flare sticks out compared to the bumper? Now look at this side. See that? Try to get you closer. It's right with the outside, if not out a little bit more. Tucked inside. So this side's definitely pushed in. It's definitely pushed down. So I'm just going to start with a jack. It's all bolted on, so it's obviously been hit and bent at some point. I can't tell where it's been hit. There are no dents, but it's definitely bent. So let's get to working on this and try to get it up as high as we can. We're gonna go with that. I don't want to go too much further and start breaking plastic tabs. Basically the metal behind here, we just pull it out, pried it up with the jack. It looks 10 times better than it did. He asked me, please just make my bumper look straight. So that's what we did. I think we got it. It's looking good. So we got the Jeep done, got the truck done, fixed his ABS. So I think it was a successful video. Turned out sweet. It's everything he wanted. He just wanted his bumper to look straight again. I don't know what it hit or why, but you know what? We put the 2x4s in there, 2x6s and the 4x4s, and I think we got it. So we got this one done, wrapped up. We got the Jeep we got this done. It's a wrap. We got the Jeep done. It's a wrap. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you like Chevys, you like Jeeps, you like fixing cars in general, hang out. We're always fixing something, finding new ways to fix something, and just all out having fun in the garage. You know, I love fixing things with what I have. I don't have a lot, but it's what we need to get it done. So thanks for watching, and if you want to check us out on Instagram, KB Motors Channel, no spaces, and email kbmotorschannel@gmail.com. Thank you guys. Appreciate you watching. Remember, subscribe. We noticed that 60% of the people watch this channel aren't subscribers. If you could just do us a favor and just pause for 1 second and hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. It would be such a blessing. I'm trying to hit 10K subscribers. I think that's our next goal. We're getting there, and I appreciate you guys. Just empty every pocket. Thank you again for the gift, and thanks for watching. Peace.